Okay, not since Valentine's Day this year had Ipswich failed to score, and not since August had they lost a game, and they trotted up to the Hawthorns and got swatted away like a fly. Good evening, Dan. You must be very happy.
Oh, ecstatic, mate. Well, to be fair, Carlos Corberan, he's like the Pep Guardiola of the Championship at the minute. He'd done his homework on Ipswich, he studied hard, and he came away with 3 points, and it's fantastic. Like, not one player put a foot wrong that night.
Yeah, he studied under Bielsa, hasn't he? As your manager, he's approaching Bielsa spoke very, very highly of him. I mean, there's elements of that game I saw that seemed a bit Bielsa-like.
Apart from the sitting on that box.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, what impresses me, and as a neutral, I'm sure, is that looking at your players. I don't mean this rudely. There doesn't seem to be any superstars there. There's some very average players, but by goodness, he's got them playing well above the level which they should be. Am I being unfair? Or
I mean, look, when you look at the likes of Swift and Dean Garner, they're probably like that outstanding players. But yeah, to be fair, the rest of them are like pretty bang average. And to be fair, if it gets us results, I'm happy with bang average players.
What was the secret then of beating Ipswich? What tactically did he get right?
Well, when we started off the game, we got the early goal, and I saw like our high defensive line. I was like, that might cause us problems because they're very quick on the counter. But we just seemed to just stop that straight away. It was worrying seeing this high line when you got the likes of Bartley and Kipre who run like they're carrying a piano. But then we had Townsend and Furlong literally just sweeping up. And to be fair, even Alex Palmer got in on the act and playing the Manuel Neuer role of the sweeper keeper. Even he came out and cleared a few chances. But yeah, I don't really think Ipswich caused us many problems, which surprised me a lot, considering they're second in the league and only lost one game all season. But yeah, we defended really well.
Yeah, and just a word on Mowat, if you could, because I thought he was particularly outstanding.
Yeah, he seems to have gone under the radar. He's like one of them unsung heroes at the minute. But he's got an absolute wonder of a left foot. The last player that had a wonder of a left foot that played for us was Chris Brunt. But Merritt, you give him a chance from outside the box, he's going to be on target. And he just seems so composed now in the middle of the park. When we first bought him, he wasn't exactly that special. But he's upped his game now after coming back on loan. And yeah, he's an integral part now of our midfield.
All right, let's bring in Statman Archie, who's been having a look at West Brom and what statistically is making West Brom.
Yeah, no, I thought everything was spot on in terms of what was just said from the West Brom fan. When you come and play against a team like Ipswich and like Leicester, as we'll get on to, I think that West Brom are kind of well suited to that. When you play a team that wants to pass it as much as Ipswich and Leicester do, you've got to unsettle them. You've got to play your own game. You've got to be strong, play it long at times, and not let them get their rhythm. I think that's what's really important. West Brom have won 4 out of 5 in the last 5 games. They won 3 of them at home, so they got a great home record. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really exciting game from a Leicester point of view. Best goal difference in the league. 3 out of 5 games, obviously that 2-game drought. So it's going to be an interesting one, that's for sure, Mark.
Okay. What about this Leicester side then? That's going to come on Saturday.
So look, Leicester really surprised me, to be honest. Especially losing Maddison and Barnes, and Tielemans as well, and they're still flying. It's like you're losing your best players, but you're still winning games.
Yeah, let's bring on a Leicester fan then. Stay there one sec. Okay, you're back here after a 1-week holiday. How are you?
I'm all good, mate. How about you? How's the relegation zone again?
More on that in a minute. Yeah, you've had your little wobble, haven't you? But you are you're back you're certainly back in the goals against Watford. But you had to bring on Jamie Vardy to get the win, didn't you?
I mean, what can I say? He's one of our best. It wasn't only based on him coming on. I think all the changes that we made around the 55th, 60th minute made the changes that we needed. But yeah, it was a very good game, and looking forward to Sheffield Wednesday, which is coming up the day after, and then obviously West Brom.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough place to go to, West Brom, is it? What have you made of them this year?
I think they're establishing themselves very well within the top six. I mean, we've seen them beat Ipswich, which was very impressive, also very useful for us. Thank you very much. But yeah, I think it will be one of the tough games, especially if you look at our games that are coming up. This is probably the toughest one out of all.
Yeah, Archie, what have you got on Leicester statistically?
So yeah, like I mentioned before, the best goal difference in the league. They've got the same goal difference for as Sheffield Wednesday do against. So whichever way you look at it is very interesting. No, I've enjoyed looking at it. 65% possession of the weekend. I did watch the highlights earlier, and I didn't see a highlight for Watford. So that kind of tells you everything in terms of the game. You try, and eventually you get there. I mean, Vardy had the same chance like 3 times pretty much, which eventually he's going to score a player of his quality. Again, 6 goals this season. I got a question for the Leicester fan, though. I'm a massive fan of Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. How long is it going to be until we see him play for the national team?
I mean, as long as Southgate is leading that team, he will never select Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. That's how I see it, because you know how he likes to pick his favourites with Henderson, with Calvin Phillips, even though they are awful. But I mean, you never know.
Yeah, I think that Southgate's going to be up a little bit of tricks before these Euros. I think he knows it's coming, and he knows a change is needed. I think Trent should be in there, and I think Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall should be in there as well. Definitely in the squad at least. He's probably, in my eyes, probably the best midfielder in the Championship this season so far. He had Premier League interest at the start of the season. In terms of my prediction, going to be a close game, and I think the West Brom fan should be a little bit more confident in my eyes.
Okay. Just a couple more for you, I am. Just talk about Iheanacho for a minute, because against Middlesbrough and in a couple of games now this season, he seems to have lost his first touch. He seems to be getting easily beaten. Are the fans losing patience with him a little bit?
I think we've lost patience with him years ago. We've always said the same thing. The problem with Iheanacho is that he is a confidence player. If he doesn't score one game, he will go on a drought for a few games. And the problem with him as well, he doesn't tend to get into the box, and he's very lazy as well. And we always say this, but then when he goes on like the goal streaks, we tend to forget about it. And then it's like a cycle with him, and it is frustrating. Luckily, we do have Jamie Vardy as well as Tom Cannon, who hasn't made his debut yet, but yeah, it is frustrating with him.
Okay, let me ask you both then about the January transfer window before we get some score predictions. Obviously, we're into December by the time this game comes around on Saturday. Dan, first for West Brom. I know money is going to be an issue with everything going around the club, but if that wasn't an issue, what do West Brom need in terms of positions and strength?
To be fair, I think we need strength in depth all over the park, to be honest, and probably just another striker that isn't made of Weetabix like Daryl DK. I think I've only seen him play 4 games, and he's been there 4 years, and he's just always injured. So maybe another striker, and probably some wing backs as well, just cover for Furlong and Townsend.
Okay,
and apart from that, I can't think of anything else.
And joking aside, are there any dealings likely given the financial issues the club is facing?
Probably not. It'll probably have to dip into the loan market or something. We're skint, if anything. We're just trying to repay loans that the owners took out the club to pay for his own company.
Yeah, okay. Same question to you then. I am obviously you're getting parachute payments. You've awash with money. What do Leicester need, if anything, in the transfer window to make sure that you are bypassing Everton as they go down and you go up?
I mean, Everton going down and us going up is inevitable by now. But I think we do need another left-footed centre-back. Us missing Callum Doyle has sort of been an issue for us. We've been playing James Justin instead of him, and it is working out, but you can tell that he's a bit uncomfortable on that side. We also do need a cover for Harry Winks. I mean, if you saw the Watford game, we played Hamza Chaudhry in his place, and Hamza isn't really the best on the ball. He is a great tackler, though, but he's not.
He doesn't suit your system, does he? The way that your manager wants to play.
Yeah, he doesn't suit like Harry Winks' role, and I think we do need a number 10 that we still haven't gotten a number 10. So if we cover those 3 places, no one's catching up to us.
I sure hope they do. I really hope they do. Never mind. And it might be West Brom, where they're going. Dan, let's get some score predictions then. West Brom against Leicester.
I think we'll nick it 2-0.
Can
I just say something? We haven't lost the game more than 1-0. So if you're predicting 2-0, my God, you're optimistic.
I'm usually very pessimistic, but
it's the first time you predicted a win, isn't it?
I know, yeah.
I
am.
What are you going with then? Come on, 5 or 5-0, 6-0. Come on, let's hear it.
No, that's for Sheffield Wednesday, not for West Brom.
Right.
No, I'd say it will be a very good game. Close one, of course. 2-1, 3-1.
Okay, nice.
2-1.
Yeah. Is it on telly, this one? I'm sorry, I've neglected to look at it.
Yeah, it's a silly 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday.
Brilliant, right? Okay, I'll be watching that as I head down to Nottingham Forest. Enjoy the game, folks. We will catch up with you in a couple of weeks.
Fantastic.
Right,
See you later,
cheers, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.